I'm from nowhere. I wasn't born here, but I came here and I found my way in this country.
But
But why people cannot do the same?
So
So
this is what is really interesting. I well done for getting first class. Well done for doing something else that you didn't study for and that you are doing well. I'm really proud of you and be proud of yourself. But what really frustrates me about Britain, apart from the mourning, is people like you. If Nigel Garage gets into power, they want you back home. They want you back in Nigeria. They don't see you as British. They don't
yes,
see you, despite the contributions that you make, they don't see you as contributing to society. They believe that someone like you, unfortunately, needs to go back home. That is what the Niger Garage policy is. That is what the Deform Party is. They want people who are not citizens of this country, people who are not British, to go back home because they believe. But
how many? The question is in my sir. Sorry for cutting you off.
yeah.
How many actually the British people actually from born here, grew up here, actually be at work now? They should check the let's go and check the populations of how many people actually born here, grow up in UK, are working. And look at immigrations, how many immigration are working. There's only like 30% of born, grow up UK working at the moment. 70% is contributed by the immigrants.
I just genuinely believe that it is a nonsense. It is a contradiction for someone like you who's left Nigeria, doing well, not a British citizen, contributing to the British society, and being told that if Nigel Garage becomes the Prime Minister of the UK, you are likely to be sent back home. That is just totally wrong. And I'm telling you this now, I will make sure that we get involved if Nigel Garage becomes Prime Minister of the UK. But let's move it on. What are the chances of Kemi Badenoch, the ex-Nigerian who's now British? What are the chances of Kemi? Because I've been hearing all sorts of things that she's doing well, she's growing into the job. What are her chances of becoming Prime Minister of the United Kingdom? And are Nigerians supporting her?
I think the problem is this about Kemi, is that no matter wherever you are, you don't forget your roots. You can't disown your own people because you need them to vote for you at the end of the day. And secondly, something about Kemi. Kemi is doing well, but is British people who are colored, are they really like Kemi enough? You remember, there's still indirect racism in UK, which can never go, which sets the class between the rich and the poor. You get my point? So, we dare not be frustrated to see first in the world a black person be a prime minister.
So you're basically saying to me, sorry to cut you short, because there are quite a number of people waiting to talk to me. Yeah. You are basically saying if the British people, so it's almost like, for me, the way I am looking at it, I don't genuinely think that Keir Starmer is going to end up leading the Labour Party in the next general election. I genuinely believe that guy called Wes Terring, who is the health secretary. Don't ask me how I know these things, but I believe that Wes Terring will be the next prime minister who leads Labour Party into the general election. You are telling me that if it was Nigel Garage and Kemi Badenoch, that the British people will go for Nigel Garage, even though people are saying that he's racist?
If it comes to both of them have to struggle for the power, I believe most people would still go for Kemi, because maybe the British people, the other side who are white, they probably vote for Nigel Garage more based on the issue like, we don't want a black person on this. If they take over, they actually take over everything. But when it comes to reality, people not gonna want to spread the hatred. So people might come to a extent of voting for Kemi. Kemi just needs to do more job. He needs to, at the moment, it's not confusing the British people yet. I'll be quietly honest. He needs to bring, only thing that I brought now is to bring preaching, but he actually makes, and I think more people are confused on that. But she needs to actually stand out.
Okay, so what party do you support? Labour?
I support conservative before, but I'm on Labour now, but I think I'm going back to conservative.
Why are you going back to conservative?
Because Kemi is there, it's from my country. It's as simple as that.
She doesn't identify with Nigeria. She doesn't see it that way.
I don't identify myself Nigeria, because Nigeria is actually rubbish at the moment.
But she's not. There's no way that if Kemi what makes you think that when Kemi becomes prime minister that she'll be thinking, oh yes, I am a Nigerian and this is good for Nigeria. That's not the way Kemi is looking at it.
I'm not in Nigeria now. According wherever you are is your home. This is my home now. So I have to focus on interest that focus me on my family here first, rather than thinking of back home. At the moment, back home can solve them themselves.
Yeah.
Can me have enough genuine reason why?
I have to.
And sorry, sir. Everything Kemi said is not wrong. Kemi never lies. She only is like open the curtain of what is going on back home, and people are not happy about it.
But so I will say I respect you. I respect your opinions. But some Nigerians will see you and say that you're a strange Nigerian, that you're supporting Kemi based on the fact that she's a Nigerian. You support your leader, a politician, because of their policies and principles, not because of where they come from. Because Kemi says she's an Essex girl. Kemi says that she's a Yoruba girl. She's not Nigerian. So I respect your views, and but I don't seem to understand. That's why I'm not in politics, my friend. I don't like this flip-flopping where people are moving from one party to the other. You should stay in one party and stick to that party, because that is what you need to do. Because you have a situation in Nigeria now where all the governors are now becoming APC for the sake of being APC, rather than stick to your policies and principles. This whole idea that you can flip-flop and move from one party, 1 minute you're Labour, next minute you're not Labour, I'm moving to Reform, next I'm not Reform, I'm leaving to Tory. That is not good for politics. It's never ever good for content, because it does not offer continuity, and it also, in my view, shows that democracy is not working. It's not working for the people, because if it was working for the people will be more involved in this, be more involved in politics, and that is it. I look at the House of Commons, and when I look at the House of Commons, these people are debating issues as if they're in school. And after a prime minister question, because I look at this, I watch these prime minister question times, and it's almost like they're insulting each other just to get some brownie points. The debate has no impact on the people, the masses, the people who want food, the people who are homeless, the people who can't pay their bills. It has no impact whatsoever. It's just entertainment for the politicians, for the people who are within their circle, and for the media. Oh yes, Kemi gave Keir Starmer a fantastic bruising today, and that is fantastic. How is that fantastic? Fantastic for your inner circle, not fantastic for the homeless people, not fantastic for the people who are looking for jobs, not fantastic for the students who graduated, who are looking for jobs and can't find jobs. These people have no clue. And that is why I believe that politics is organized crime. Organized crime. It doesn't matter whether it is Britain, it doesn't matter whether it's in the US, it doesn't matter whether it's in Nigeria. They are protecting their own interest, and that is it. They are not.
Yes, sir. I agree with you, and I do. Of course, they always say those who on politics, they don't go to school. That's exactly, if you are a son of a politician, you don't need to study. That's what we are hearing these days. So they don't study, most of them don't study knowledge. You get my point? But however, the major important thing is we need to look at the future now, like you mentioned earlier, and the future lie between Kemi, Starmer, and Farage.
Well, I don't think Starmer is going to lead the Labour Party. The way I am looking at it, I don't believe that Starmer is going to lead the Labour Party in the next general election. I genuinely believe that he'll be gone by next year. The amount of people who want him out is unbelievable.
Yes.
Yeah,
But
it's unbelievable.
however, the policy he made recently, they are not sticking to their word. That's what this is not Labour we used to know. Me and you know about that.
Yeah.
Labour is a party for the people. It's a party for the workers. It's a party that everybody wants to actually involve. But unfortunately, this current Labour is like, it's more like conservative to me. It's like following the policy of conservative.
But what it shows to me is this, that the political environment in Britain has changed. And if the
Yes.
political environment has changed, then the political parties have to evolve. It happened during the Labour time. You remember when Tony Blair was Prime Minister for 3 terms? The
Yes, sir.
only way the Tory party could end up
Yes,
winning
sir.
the election was to behave like Labour, was to change their style to behave like Labour. Now, Labour got in because they had to copy what the Tories were doing. And the Reform Party, I fear for immigrants, because I genuinely believe that Nigel Farage is going to be the next Prime Minister of the United Kingdom.
I believe you, but I don't think so. He can't get it. People are just frustrated. Once there's something that changes, come into being, someone just need to do something. Either this Labour or I don't know, need to do something that will change people's mind.
Are you aware now that the Reform Party is the largest party in the United Kingdom? Are you aware that in terms of contributions, donations, the Reform Party is leading, and it only has 4 or 5 MPs? I fear for immigrants in the UK. I genuinely believe that immigrants should start thinking of going back home. We should have a plan in place, because come 2029, Nigel Farage will be the Prime Minister of the United Kingdom, and he will copy the same approach that Donald Trump has taken. There will be ice, not snow, ice. You know what I mean by ice?
Yes.
Deporting people from the UK. That is exactly what is going to happen. So immigrants in the UK must get ready, start planning ahead, have a contingency plan, because it is going to get really, really difficult for immigrants in the UK.
But we remember, we are not like America. That's the question. And America people are working. I've been to US and I know how US is. US people work there. They have like 2-3 jobs. They do. But UK people are so depend on benefit. Then UK, if it comes to that, UK will struggle to stand.
Let me explain to you. If someone had said to you 10 years ago that Nigel Farage would be likely be talked about as the next Prime Minister of the United Kingdom, you would say no.
Yes, of course. I would say no.
There is a real threat to the British society, real threat to Britain, that Nigel Farage could end up becoming Prime Minister of the United Kingdom. And until people understand that is likely to happen, because people think this is a joke, it is not a joke. It's the most powerful political party right now in the United Kingdom. Everyone is talking about reform. Taxi drivers, caterers, mental health workers, everyone is talking about reform. And
it is because all the reason why is because people are frustrated.
And exactly.
Labour need to change their leader, like you mentioned. Something need to change somewhere. Once something change, we forget Farage, because that's only solution at the moment. That's what people are thinking. Because of this open border they do recently, there are too many people in UK now. Even UK people are struggling to get job.
But the open border has nothing to do with the Labour government. The UK border, the reason people are coming by boat is because of Brexit. Before Brexit, you did not have this issue. And this is why I say to you that the politics in Britain is idiotic. It's full of idiots. Because at the end of the day, why would you want to leave the EU? and become isolated, because that is part of the problem. Part of the problem is that the country is bankrupt, and bankrupt because of the EU and the Brexit. We're going to save you money. That was all a lie. And who was responsible for that lie? It was
Conservative.
the Conservative. It was David Cameron. It was Boris Johnson. It was Nigel Farage.
Yes, I mean.
They are roaming the streets, making millions, while people are suffering from the implications, from their stupidity. For their stupidity, people are suffering because of David Cameron, who decided to have a referendum. What an idiot! Have a referendum, and then got seized by Nigel Farage. Okay. And
Yeah, I remember.
And Boris Johnson, 1 minute he was in support of Brexit, the next minute he was in support of Brexit because he was flip-flopping to become Prime Minister of the United Kingdom. So you can tell, you can see why I am so skeptical about Britain and its politics. It is idiotic. It is a complete nonsense that Britain has reduced itself to a laughing stock, to a country that is broke. People cannot get jobs. People are frustrated. And the next thing you want to do is support a racist party. Unbelievable. Absolutely diabolical. But look, my friend, there's so many people who want to talk to me. And
thank you so much.
I want to thank you so much. I normally come here every Saturday morning.
Okay.
But I have been very, very busy. So I intend to be here every Saturday, 9 o'clock. And we can have a discussion on so many issues. I thought we could focus on Nigeria, Biniku, and the oil. Can you imagine? In the US are stealing oil tankers from Venezuela and Nigeria. The country is so broke that what it now needs to do is steal tankers. Are you aware that they seized oil tankers from Nigeria?
Yes.
From Venezuela. So look, that is a subject for further discussion, but I'm sure some other people want to talk to me.